my name is Monique Marar, and this is Business Insider Weekly. We have quite the surprise for all you young, aspiring businessmen and women, as today we welcome special guests Nikki, Kevin, and Jessica from Alex's company, the largest producers of sensors in our market today. They are currently positioned first within the industry and are the industry leaders with a market capitalization of $231 million. The company's profitability is at a whopping 48.1%, only second by 0.1. Additionally, they offer a highly valuable investment opportunity for investors with a share price that currently sits at $87.08 and current sales of approximately $163 million.
Thank you for taking the time on your day to meet with me.
Thank you for having us.
Go.
Nikki, I'm going to direct my first question to you. When you started this company, did you envision yourselves as the leading producers of high-tech sensors?
No, we had intended to introduce high-end products and let it face the low-end segment with the occasional product revision. The idea was to reduce our research and development costs while providing products with an optimized age. After a few years, the products would be at an optimal point for the low-end buying criteria. We also intended to release new products every year and to heavily market each of these products to gain competitive advantage so that we can have high awareness and easily accessible products in each segment. To lower our variable costs, we intended to set automation to 7 for our high-end products, which would be slowly increased to 10 by the time these products reach the low-end segments.
That sounds like it would require a lot of equity capital. Where would this come from considering how new you are as a company?
That's a very good question, and we are a new company. So in order to build our company, we had to acquire as much capital as quickly as possible. This was done by issuing large quantities of bonds and stocks with the intention of repurchasing these stocks in later years.
Jessica, my next question is for you. So how did this intended strategy end up panning out?
Well, our intended strategy wasn't working the way we wanted it to. The high-end products that we created weren't falling into those ideal positions of the low-tech segment like we wanted it to. In addition to this, we had poor forecasting. Forecasting and the positioning led to us having inventory problems, which then caused severe financial issues. So we knew we had to reevaluate, and we took a close look at the market. We found that there was less competitors in the high-end segment and that there'd be an opportunity to increase our profitability. So we made the key make or break decision of deviating from our intended strategy and focusing on making high-end innovative products. This worked well, and once we started to be successful, we made another key make or break decision by deciding to pay dividends. This caused our stock price and market capitalization to skyrocket. And we went from being underdogs with only 18.8% of the market to dominating the sensor market with 48.1%.
So I hear now that you have new ideas and are moving together onto even bigger things. Any recommendations for the incoming management team? They seem to have big shoes to fill.
We've all learned a lot in the past 8 years and definitely had our share of good and bad, but we're definitely ready to pass on the torch. To answer your question, we have 4 recommendations for the incoming team. The first is to maintain a low product age by revising products every year. This is to ensure customer satisfaction in the high-end segment. It's definitely best to keep the size and performance at an ideal position, and it's best to keep the age below 2 years. Second is to focus on minimizing variable costs. The variable costs will be your greatest expense, and you can decrease this by investing in TQM, increasing productivity, and increasing automation. The third point is to price the product near or at the upper bound. The high-end products are expensive to make. By increasing the price, it'll offset the high price and maximize contribution margin. You'll notice an increase in demand, but that will not have as large of an effect as the increase in contribution margin. And the fourth is to maintain customer awareness and accessibility at 100% for all products. We found that the best number is to avoid diminishing returns is $4.5 million in sales for each segment, cumulative between all high-tech products, and $1,400 in promotional budget for each product.
Nikki, Jessica, and Kevin, I'd like to thank you for taking this time to give us a scoop on your latest success. I truly look forward to seeing what you guys do next. So how did they do it? Overlooking their rough start, they were able to zero in on a few main things to recover. Success may not always be immediate, so listen closely because Alex's company learned a lot and you young entrepreneurs can too. It is easily seen that they relied heavily on the SWOT analysis, which helped them greatly in terms of company growth. SWOT analysis really allowed them to put into perspective their strengths, their weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Alex's company was able to draw on their strengths by introducing a variety of innovative products with greater market presence. It is key that you all remember to work with your weaknesses as well. That's exactly what Alex's company was able to do. They had high variable costs, which meant they required higher priced products. They saw few innovative products available in the high-end segment and were able to capitalize on this opportunity with their only threat being Ferris's company who offered similar products. They used a competitor analysis to evaluate and reevaluate their business strategies, which I thought was very important and especially helpful in assessing their product value and determining a more accurate forecast prediction. My last advice to you is identify where your greatest revenue and expenses lie. Know where to invest and what expenses to minimize. Ultimately, know your company. This is the latest on Business Insider Weekly. I'm your host, Monique Moroder. Good night, and we'll see you next week.